ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Ferry Hawks baseball. Come out to the ballpark this week as the Ferry Hawks welcome in the Charleston Dirty Birds May 5th through the 10th. Grab the kids and come on out. We kick it off on Tuesday, May 5th with Cinco de Baseball with $5 tickets and $5 food and beverage specials. And we end the week as we celebrate all moms on Mother's Day. Moms get in free. Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
We got the guy in place right now. He's terrific. I really like this guy a lot. Glad to meet him here in studio this morning, Joe Gruters. Joe, welcome to New York City, buddy. How are you?
Hey, I love New York City. I was at the Yankees game last night, and I agree with...
So was I.
Yeah, I'm all with Laura Trump. I think you should run for mayor. She's your first endorsement. I'll be your second. The party's ready.
I've actually got another endorsement from a guy who, as we speak, Joe, is on the way to meet with President Trump in the Oval Office this morning. He's running for governor of New York. He's dying for me to run for mayor. Bruce Blakeman.
Well, we really need him to perform well here in New York. We got a couple of big congressional races that are really going to help, shape the future of the country and the majority in Congress. But Blakeman, he has a chance to win it. Your governor is an absolute disaster, along with Mamdani. Basically, they're steering New York further and further to the left, away from the mainstream, and we have a chance to win these races.
I think we do too. The president of the New York Yankees, Randy Levine, is coming on after you, just so you know. So you were both there last night for that easy Yankee win. I look at New York, it's a mess. You mentioned Mamdani and Hochul. I look at California, Blue City, Blue State Sanctuary, Bass, Newsom, it's a mess. Same thing with Chicago, with Johnson and Pritzker. We can go on and on. Then I look at your state. I know everybody loves Ron DeSantis. He's got his lovers and not so much lovers, but who can argue about the job he does as governor? Hard to argue. You look at people like Rick Scott down there, Randy Fine, one of my all-time favorites in Congress. Look at the way your state is run and how you people live compared to these blue states.
Well, you mentioned Randy Fine. I don't know if you know this, but he was my roommate in Tallahassee. My family travels with Randy Fine's family, and he's my next-door neighbor in D.C. I gave him the nickname the Hebrew Hammer because he has one of the strongest right-handed hooks in politics.
You gave him that nickname?
I gave him the nickname. He is one of the smartest guys I know, and we're so fortunate to have him. But you also mentioned Governor Rick Scott, who is by far one of the greatest human beings and one of the champions of that I would call him the economic champion of the world. He ran on jobs when Florida was at a low. Now Florida is absolutely screaming. And you're right. DeSantis has given us great conservative leadership. Florida is, when I became the chairman of the Republican Party of Florida in 2018, we were minus 450,000 voter registrations. When I left, we were at 450,000 voter registrations ahead. And today, we're over 1.5 million voters ahead of the Democrats. We're a solid red state. We're never going back. So happy to be part of that team down there.
And when I lived there, Rick Scott was my governor. And now, of course, he's a senator. He's terrific. He's on this show quite a bit. And, yeah, you guys, you do it right down there. I mean, you got to get rid of Debbie Wasserman Schultz at some point. That's a whole other story. But poor Fort Lauderdale. But otherwise, you guys do it right. But, look, there's a lot of fear right now. And I'll use the word fear, even bigger than paranoia, that the midterms are going to crush us. And the war is still going on, okay? Gas prices are still way too high. Sorry. Interest rates, war shall come in and help us, thank God, but way too high. Cost of living, way too high. And a lot of people that are even Trump supporters, like me, I love the man, are starting to think we're kind of stuck in Iran. We're stuck. We're not in a position where we're not doing as well as Pete Hegseth told you at 8 o'clock this morning, and that's going to affect us come November. What are your thoughts?
Listen, this is going to be a temporary conflict. And why has no president gone after this in 47 years? Because it's high political risk, low political reward. So why do it? This president's doing it because he's doing the right thing. He's trying to make sure America is in a better place, the world's in a better place, and he's willing to take that risk. And look, this conflict is temporary. I talked to the president about it. We're going to get out of here. But people, how soon they forget the fact that under Biden inflation, those 4 years, inflation was at 9%. Gas prices were the highest they ever were. And listen, every single day, this president's focused on the average American worker. He's gone to bat for him. He wants everybody to achieve that American dream. And listen, as soon as this conflict's over, I know that the nose is going to come up, and he's going to go back to work for everybody.
Well, he's got to go back to work now, very soon, I should say, and go to all these cities and states that have very close congressional battles, but we can't lose the House and we can't lose the Senate. We'll be dead meat. So he's got to start really rallying for these people. I mean, I don't know what you think about a lot of the folks that are running for us over the next couple of months, but the last couple of elections have not been kind to us.
Well, listen, that's what we're doing. We know 43 days of the shutdown earlier this year, and they basically held the government hostage. We know we can't allow these guys to win. We have no option other than to win. And listen, what we've done as a party, Lord Trump started this with Michael Watley, but what we've done is we've gone out there and recruited the best candidates. We don't need to win a national popular vote. There's basically 35 congressional seats, 5 U.S. Senate seats. We've gone out and recruited candidates that could win. Rogers in Michigan, for example. Sununu in New Hampshire, right? Watley in North Carolina. We could win these seats. We have raised a ton of money. We have the best showman that's ever existed in our party in Donald J. Trump. He is going to barnstorm the country. We're going to do things that's never been done before, like a midterm convention. Why? I tell people it's going to be a Trumpapalooza. We're going to be able to highlight all the amazing things that this president has done. We're going to highlight it, showcase it to the American people. Then he's going to be on the road for 60 days because the president's already proved 3 times that he can convince these low propensity voters to show up, and that's what we're going to do.
Let's stick with New York for a second. That you're in New York City right now. Lawler's going to win because he just does. Doesn't matter. But there's a couple of races that scare me. One is Long Island. You got Gillen. She beat my buddy Anthony D'Esposito. She's running again. I like Driscoll. She was on the show a couple of days ago with Peter King. I think she offers Nassau County a lot, but she'll go in as the underdog. And then you got Mike LaPetri for the second straight time, Joe, trying to beat Tom Suozzi. And Suozzi, for some reason, I don't know why, he's very nice to me, but he's phony. For some reason, he appeals to both Democrats and Republicans. Those 2 specific races on Long Island, those 2 seats. Any thoughts on that?
Well, listen, they're going to have to run with Mamdani and the record that he's done here in New York City. And listen, at the end of the day, that may be the big difference. I think that the president will visit Long Island. He loves New York. This is ultimately his home. Although I like to claim him home in Florida now, but New York is his home also. And he told me we're going after these Long Island seats. I think we could win them. I think with the election here that happened last year, I think it's going to play a major impact. And listen, we're all in. We have the resources to fight. We're going to obliterate our opponents, and we're going to do whatever it takes to hold this majority. We have to win. There's no excuses. Win at all costs, and that's the end of the day.
I love it, Joe. Joe Gruters, he's the chairman of the RNC. You know, I was a little kid once in Brooklyn, New York, okay? Small little town, you may have heard of it. And I was a Democrat. And I love this guy, Ed Koch. He was our mayor. I loved him. I even liked Bill Clinton. Not going to lie to you, I liked him. And now I can't even talk to a Democrat. I bring her up all the time. I love my sister. I do. I love her. But, you know, I can't believe she's a smart girl. She went to New Paltz for teaching. Her husband is a very smart guy. And I can't believe they still align themselves with the Democrats. Joe Gruters, what the hell happened to this party that they are more concerned about trying to make Donald Trump look bad than actually service Americans?
Trump derangement syndrome is real, and the Democrats haven't. I blame the mainstream media for all the negative coverage on the president. No matter what he does, they're against it. And it's not just Trump derangement syndrome anymore. It's almost American derangement syndrome because you're basically rooting against America every single day. They're not running on any policies. They're just running on the fact that they want to stop the momentum this president's doing. And what the president's doing is working every single day to make sure the average American out there can live the American dream and live in a peaceful world.
Are you starting to think yet, Joe, about who's next? You know, I had Trump on, it was last year, and I said, at the end of the conversation, I said, no, it was this year. And I said, I'm sad. And he said, why? I said, because you're leaving. You know, I know we like to talk about Alan Dershowitz's new book and One Again in 28, and Eric Trump has all the hats, but you're leaving, and what am I going to do? I love Marco Rubio. He's my choice, by the way, Joe, not J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio. But either way, there's not going to be a Trump in 2028. Have you guys started to think about that? at the RNC?
Yes, and I am loyal to the president and his team, and we're trying to do everything we can to support his administration. Yes, it's very sad to think about the fact that he is going to be out in 2028 because he's been such a champion, not only for our party, but for America. Go back to this Iran conflict. Why would anybody do that? He's doing it because he genuinely wants to help the country. He genuinely cares about the average. You talking about empathy, high emotional IQ? This president has it, and he really cares about people, and he's putting the best interest of the average everyday American first and foremost, which in the world of politics you can't do because you have all these special interest groups. He's the only one that was elected without any type of, I like to call it barnacles, that you collect as an elected official. He's doing the right thing every single day, and that's why the Democrats can't stand it. They can't stand it because he's making changes. He's leading with the best interest of the American people every single day.
Sacco and Felix, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFilas.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's.